Hey everybody, it's a bunny chick. Yeah, I just thought I'll do something different. I haven't done anything like this. I used to do this for me. I think I used to do this for Twitch. I tried this on YouTube, so what it is, I'm just doing a podcast called Gameshow Palooza, and it's episode 1. And that's basically what my YouTube, not YouTube, my Discord is Gameshow Palooza, but my YouTube channel is a bunny chick 82. So I thought I'll come in depth talking about TV game shows on Australia, around the world, you name it. I'll talk about at the moment. What I'm going to do right now is what first topic I'm going to talk about is short-lived game shows that didn't make might have made a year or two here in Australia. If it's past 20 and a half, 3, that doesn't count as short-lived. Well, right, here's some ones I can talk about. Basically, ones in the 90s I can talk about. There was, and you won't believe we did have a Let's Make a Deal that was hosted by Vince Sorrenti. That did a year, but I actually watched it as a kid and I didn't mind it. But I think they did in, I can't remember, did they do it in the 70s or something? But I was only aware of the 90s version. And then we had, of course, Hot Streak, well, better known. And anyone in the UK or or America or that know Bruce Forsyth. He did the version of Hot Streak, but was it James O'Neill? I believe did the one in the night. It was really good. I actually watched it in the afternoon. I think it was. I don't know. Was that? I think that might have been around the time. Was it Wheel of Fortune was on still? Or, yeah, I think Family Feud might have finished by then. Yeah. That I think may have got a season, maybe 2, I can't remember. And then Concentration did, I think, maybe a year, maybe 2 with Mike Hammond. That was not a bad show of the 90s. You want, you wanted like another show that was comedy related, well, sort of comedy. Basically, think of this as Hollywood Squares without Whoopi Goldberg and Gilbert Gottfried and all that. It was basically our version of Hollywood Squares, but it was called All Star Squares. But I think they called it earlier stages too, Celebrity Squares. But still, it was basically the same concept as Hollywood Squares in the US with Tom Bergeron, but this was Ian Rogerson. But he did a great job at hosting Hollywood Square, not All Stars. I actually look. I think there may be some short-lived ones out there. Oh, well, I can go, and then after I talk about these ones in the 90s, I'll go back to the short-lived ones in the 80s as well. And what was another short-lived? Did we have another short-lived in the 90s? I think that might be all that is short-lived in the 90s. Let's go to maybe short. We can go to short next. We'll go to short-lived game shows in the 2000s. Right. Okay, that got maybe a year or so or two. Well, we'll start with one that could have been potential. I think it may have got one season on Channel 7. It was um, The Weakest Link, hosted by Cornelia Francis. Or maybe that got 2, but gee, it was really good. Yeah, but unfortunately, maybe I guess due to rating, it literally got the chop. so it had potential. Just got the chop. What else? See that? I guess that don't work. Never mind. Yeah, and then there's other. I think there's a couple of other than the maybe not 2000 that did get short lived for like a season or two. There was another one. This one you can explain probably as um um basically US, maybe US equivalent to maybe Russian roulette, but this show was called Shafted. It was hosted by Red Simons, and I think 2002. It was basically to take place of then when Sailor Century actually finished its 21-year run in 2001. So I want something in that 7 o'clock time spot, which they thought would do really well. But unfortunately, due maybe to Raiden, it got basically, as you say, it got shafted itself. Um, some other ones I can probably mention in 2000 maybe were short lived. Um, don't get me wrong, he was great in the show, just didn't last as long. Mine lasted maybe a year and a bit. If you ever followed Bert Newton, all his, or he did a show in the 80s called, was it the Ford Super Quiz? And then he did his own version of Family Feud, but I think that only lasted a year and a half. That was, yeah, and that the year and a half because I don't know, maybe it didn't work out for Channel 9 at the time. Yeah, I went from 2000. Well, I'm not. I am not including Prices Right in the short lived in 2000 because it went for 2.5 years. So it got because it did half for 2000. It did half 2003 and then half 2004 and I think 5 2000. That I won't include, but the next one, I was pretty disappointed in that. I was disappointed that it didn't have a longer run than it should have. We're going to 2008. Oh, hang on. Hang on. Stand corrected. I can include the last season of Wheel of Fortune, even though it went 26 years. But I can include this in 2006 because it had it had 6 month run. This was coming off their Emda, who got fired from Price Right in 2004. And then they asked him to come back to Channel 7 back in 2006. So he ended up doing Wheel of Fortune for 6 months. But that was really good. Well, he's still doing the morning show. She's been doing that with colleagues. Like, let's see, 17 years now. Long time. Yeah, I can include that. It was really good, but I can include that as well because that was short lived. Alright, now let's go into 2008. This one deserved a, a longer run. What do you think of? I reckon a lot of you would say that too. So it ended up being a part of a Big John Wheel of Fortune set. If you have it out there, I am talking about, and it up after its 5-year run. We ended up doing. Well, actually, US ended up getting the rights to the $1 million wedge about. I think it was about 5 or 6 weeks after it got canned after 5 weeks. Yeah, it had 4 normal weeks and a celebrity week. The last week it was. In that time, didn't give them $1 million, but twice there were $200,000 winners. One guy by the name of Carl and Rachel Beck, I believe, was the celebrity that won $200,000 for charity. I'm talking about $1 million Wheel of Fortune, which a lot of my friends around America and all sorts said it should have had longer. I agree. It should have had a longer run on TV. I don't know what faulted $1 million Wheel of Fortune. It had it had great host as Tim Campbell. Kelly Andrew helped out the letterboard. It was great with well the one who announced wasn't too bad either. And well no John Dix, but he did a really good job for Channel. I remember watching every afternoon. I think it was around 5 o'clock it came on. I think it did because I think at the time Millionaire wasn't on because Henry Maguire. I think he was trying his hand at CEO and of Channel 9, but I think after a year and a half he couldn't take it anymore, and then decided in 2009 he was going to do different format Millionaire and Millionaire Hot. It worked really well. All right, then yeah, I didn't mind the wheel. If you watch the when you look at the $1 million Wheel of Fortune wheel, the $1 million wedge is red, but in comparison later on, if you watched it in its first season, Wheel in US, it's not red, it's green. Yeah, but it was still cool, and I loved how little light up all the bits of the wheel, which were great. Yeah, I was really sad it had came off. Oh man, that really um really made me sad. But I guess I must have had low ratings to basically um try to keep it as a show. Alright, now I'm gonna go with some short-lived game shows from the 2010 that, well, there's also really been a few. It might, I'm just saying, yeah, there's a few. Might be maybe three in general that have been short-lived. Yeah, yeah, maybe three. I'll say start with um a, a a TV game show I thought could have potential, but nothing network was on. After 2 episodes, it went bye for good. The US did really well with it, the Power of 10, and that was Drew Carey's first game show he hosted before he took over Price Right in the US. But they did get a host in Steve Jacobs, but unfortunately, I was looking forward to a third episode. I liked it, and then 2 years, and then they just took it off, no more. Um, then we got next one is I would say it lasted now a year and a half. This one it does count. Because UK went really well with a show called Pointless, and I thought I'd love to see Australia do a version. It was pretty good. It's just, I guess, some of the audience, some of the viewers, well, it lasted as long as it could. Oh, I got. I'll add another one to that list too after this. And ain't going to be pretty, but this version of Pointless, hosted by comedian Mark Hunt, alongside Dr. Andrew. I actually didn't mind this 1.5 year run. Yeah, it was really good. Oh boy. I hate to say this one because a lot out there are gonna go, what did you mention this one for? I had to. I didn't want to because I thought the third installment of this would work. But nope, lo and behold, I am going to mention about the 2012 edition of The Price is Right. I know. I think it lasted about 8 months. But in my opinion, it wouldn't have lasted longer. A, if we still had the contestants right. B, if it had slightly a better announcer than Brody Young, but I think he was too pumped up for the show. 3, that all the prizes went from like Big W, because it was more like a Big W. This was more like an infomercial, and the showcases weren't the showcases weren't as cheap as they were, and they made a time limit of 40 seconds to get them off. But in this version, you had 6 prizes instead of 7. I think in that version, I had like maybe 40 seconds. I still watched that version, yeah, but I still felt sorry. But I meant sorry for those people that didn't get a fantastic version of Price is Right. But I did love the first episode. They did do a tribute to Ian Turpin, the one who hosted Price is Right in the 1980s. Yeah, in 2012 he lost his life to cancer at the age of 68. So other than that, some of the game's pretty good, but other than that, I was only watching it because Price is Right. I think it was only a half-hour show. Well, I think it was half an hour because they had to contribute, like, it's part of the wheel and dealing hour. Is that what they were calling it? Something like that. No, not wheel and dealing. That was Wheel Foot. That was 2006, and then I don't know what they called it. Some type of, but it didn't work out so well. Okay. Alright. Was there any other short-lived game shows in 2010? Yes, there was one more. Yeah, but there was an actual short-lived in 2020. I think. Hang on. Oops, I forgot to mention another one. But I'll get back to that one too. Another 2010 short-lived game was Celebrity Name Game. Grant Daniel went to host it after he got cancelled in 2018 and 2019. Yeah, I didn't mind it, and sadly, After a year, they didn't do anymore. But I know at the time, I think when Grant Daniel was injured, Ryan McManus was villain and host for him. He did a good job too, but unfortunately, it didn't last that long. Okay, well, I did forget another one, another short-lived game show. That was, I believe, in 2017. Yeah, hosted by Axel Whitehead. It was The Wall. Yeah, we had a version of The Wall here, but it didn't make any more after 6 episodes. So okay, and then there, I think that's all, all for the 2000s, and then we go into 2020s. But there's one at the moment that was short-lived. It only made a handful of episodes. Yeah, this one was hosted by Andy Lee. It was called The Cube. It was really good, but no one kept winning them. But Andy Lee's on doing another show now called is it the 100? But there is another show, but I'm kind of hoping it will get another season. Because in this first season they made, this year only made 7 episodes. I'm praying that Channel 7 they bring it back. And a lot of you might not like comedian Jim Jeffries, but he's done a good job in the show. If you ever watched one of the 7 episodes they had so far this year called The 1% Club, I recommend you watch it, please. You can watch it on 7 Plus. They might have it out there on YouTube, but I'm hoping, I'm hoping, I'm hoping that a second season comes. Channel 7, please bring that show back. I love it. Okay. Now, I forgot to mention some probably short-lived game shows in the 80s. I think there was only a few. I believe, well, one of them was another E-type. It was After Price is Right. He hosted a little show with these little red creatures called the Whammies, called Pressure Luck. I remember because I used to remember a kid. They do reruns. They would do reruns of Pressure Luck, and they would show it at a ridiculous time in the morning, like 5 a.m. in the morning. This is when I was a kid that I didn't believe in sleeping, and I would get up really early in the morning. And I think it was every morning they'd show around 5. They'd show like um pressure. I think they might have showed like Pretty Cards Right as well with Ugly Daybreak. I don't know if that was short lived or something. It might have been, but don't quote me. Yeah, I remember watching it every morning. Man, it was such a fun show to watch. This was in repeat. I think this was around the 90s. They put every morning. They just put like put reruns of the Ian Toby's run he did in the 80s and just show on Channel 7 in the mornings. Oh, really good. And then he did bring back Price Right in 1989, but it's a part of short-lived 1980. I'd say it went to Channel 10. It was on Saturday nights, and it was competing against a little show on Channel 9 called Hey Hey It's Saturday. Daryl Summers with Ozzy Ostrich. You had Wilbur and Red, and you had John Blackman, the announcer. You had Dickie Knee and all that. And they were competing about I don't even remember if I watched that version, but I've seen a few clips of that version out there on YouTube land. It only managed to do 12 weeks, so it was like with only 12 episodes in total. Yeah, because unfortunately it couldn't compete against um Hey Hey It's Saturday. Probably I wasn't watching it because every Saturday or 2 hours the family would watch Hey Hey It's Saturday every Saturday. Yeah, so I think we've gone through all the short-lived game shows from the 80s until now, but yeah. But I'm enjoying doing this game show Palooza thing quick. Yeah. Just talking about all sorts of games. Yeah, well, I have been watching a lot of it, like on YouTube, a lot of the old American game shows. Like I've been watching older pop up. It's really fun. Well, actually, yesterday I was watching a nighttime on YouTube. Oh, that was a brilliant episode. I enjoyed it. Yeah, and thanks to Adam Curry Presents for that episode on YouTube. You want to check out game show content? Go to Adam Curry Presents on YouTube. Um, there are some other ones that do show like like um Price is Right content if I want to watch them. Mark Tran, Andre St. Lawrence, I believe his name is. There was another guy that was showing like U.S. culture. Ryan Atwood, thank you for the contribute for the and that game show guy. He got some content, and I'd like to thank someone in particular that I've been watching over the years. Bring it out match game episode from the 70s. He does a YouTube live every day. So Monday to Friday, you'll get a classic episode of match game, and then it would either be 1 week it'd be Super Password, and then the next would be Password Plus, and weekends you get match game classic. So if you want any match game episode you want to watch, well, go and please. I recommend you please go and check Match Game Production. He does a wonderful job showing match game episodes and Password Plus, Super Password episodes on his live every day because, well, I think it's about, I don't know, like 7 or 8 in US, and then and so forth. And it's like, I think it's about midday. Daylight saving time it's midday to 1. Non-day it's 1 to 2, so with the match game, I don't go from the start, but I do come and watch like 3 or 4 episodes per uh depending on what I'm doing. But please don't watch it. Yeah, like remember the good old days when you were young. You watch a whole stack of game shows that you know when you're a kid. Even though even though I'm from Australia, but a lot of them are adapted from the US, like overseas. I watch Wheel of Fortune. I mainly grew up watching Wheel of Fortune and John, but I think that was the main one I grew up when I was a kid. But then when that came, I know I tried as a teenager left Wheel of Fortune and Tony Barber came over, I just felt hosting a show like Wheel of Fortune wasn't right for him because I'm used to him hosting game shows like um South. Oh, that reminds me, I forgot another short-lived game show from '99 that was hosted by Tony, but I forgot to mention Jeopardy. Oops. Yeah. Now I remember Jeopardy was one of the short-lived game shows in the '90s that lasted a season. Oh boy, I forgot about that one. But on that, I have watched a few Tony Buck on YouTube now. It's not so bad watching it as an adult as trying to watch it as a teenager. But other than that, yeah, and then Wheel of Fortune went pretty smoothly after Tony Barber left. Because Robert, he did it from '97 to 2003. I think that was like 6 or 7 years he did it. So he was the last person to work with Adriana Zenades before she retired from doing well. Well, the reason she retired because it was health. She had health issues and she pretty much couldn't do it anymore. So then in 1999, Sophie Portner came in the picture and she did it till about 2005. Yeah. But surprisingly, we didn't see the 2005 season until they showed in the morning in 2006. Yeah. I was wondering, technically, I was wondering why, because we never saw the 2005 series. In 2005, it never did. I think at the time they were still, at the time every afternoon they were just showing episodes of Dill and Odell until we never got any more episodes. I don't blame them, because and then Theo Linke took over in 2004, and everyone would compare him to the Rob Benesca of Wheel of Fortune in the US. He was that bad, but you know what? I don't think Rob Benesca was as bad. Nah. I watched it because it was real. Yeah, well, Eddie Stigley was the first one high school back in 1981. He did it till, was it 85? And then, yeah. He did it for 11 years, 85 to 96. Yeah. Man, I can remember the stuff from game shows where I watched them. Then there were some other favourite ones that I loved as a kid. Oh, one in particular, I know the US one lasted about, was it 6 years or something? And then we have Australian of Sales Century. That lasted 21 years. It went from 1980 to 2001. Yeah. I guess you know that when basically at the time of 2001, they knew that their time was up on sale. They knew they tried to do as much as they couldn't. But we've had some amazing winners and stuff. Yeah, well, in the original run, they had Tony Bob. He did it from, was it 1980 to 91? So he did it for 11 years. And then Glenn did it for 10. So they've had so many co-hosted over the. You had Victoria Nichols at first, then you had Delvin Delaney, then you had Lise Plot, then you had Jo Bailey. Well, she's got another name now. She ended up doing ads for Chemist Warehouse now. Nikki Buckley, and finally Karina Brown. So they were all good in their own way. If we wanted to watch like the earlier 80s style, you probably have to probably could check that out on YouTube. Maybe the 90s and the 2000s too. But other than that, they did somehow bring back sale in a way. Well, not exactly sale, but it had the same elements of sale. Well, it was Temptation on New Sale Century. I think that's what they called it. It's a New Sale or something like that. It's husband and Ed Phillips and then Nixon was did the gift shop stuff. That did 5 years of that. Oh, so brilliant! I watched it every other. But I can tell you something. A special episode Temptation that, and they had to call in the services of Lise Platt and Tony. They did one episode. But unfortunately, Temptation lost to What's Good For You, I believe. Oh boy, I don't think Ed will ever live it down. But it was they, they had lots of. I think they gave lots of good um cash and prize. They must have given millions, but as a but it went from 2005 to 2009. It was really good. So yeah. What else? What other game shows did I watch? I mentioned Wheel, and I mentioned a short-lived one earlier. So, what other ones would I watch? I mentioned a lot of the short-lived ones that were good. All right. Well, I kind of. Oh, I would kind of say this is a game type show because it was shown in the 80s and if you ever saw a show called It's a Knock, classified as I saw it as a kid. Billy J. Smith, I think, was that and Fiona McDonald did it. But, oh boy, I think I forgot. Now I forgot to mention the reboot of It's a That's I forgot to remember that was short lived too. That was from I think was it 2011 I believe. I think they did a season. But it had Charlie Robinson who used to be in High Five. Was it Brad McEwen? I think Guy did Sports Tonight and some other ones I forgot, but I haven't watched. No, I watched that and I remember it was like, oh yeah, it was short lived too. Good grief. Yeah. But yeah, well, not the. Then, I don't know. Would you classify um Wipeout a game show or reality TV? I think it'd probably be a both. Yeah, I'd go that. Yeah, that was a short-lived one in 2008, I believe. Yeah, it was Strange did a version of that. So it was uh, with Jane Brayshaw. Was it Josh 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 Lawson? I think it was. It wasn't Josh Thomas. I think it was Josh Lawson that did it. can't remember the rest, but it only lasted, was it, I think 9 episodes in total? I think. Don't quote me with it, but it was, you could say something like that. Yeah, I know. I like that one. I didn't mind. Oh, hey, do I mean? Did I think? Yeah, well, that's yeah. But other than that, still, yeah. Well, I know. Well, there was another short-lived in 90, but it could be kind of classified as a game show. It was Fear Factor. I believe it didn't look. It might have lasted longer than you, but I'm not sure. But I know it's pretty short-lived too. Yeah. Yeah. But oh, I think I forgot to mention another short-lived game show that was in the 2010s. It was also hosted by Eddie McGuire. It was called The $1,000,000 Drop. Yeah, I don't think that lasted very long, but I watched it. Things like that happen. But I did learn there was like a version. Well, everyone was asking me, was there a version of TikTok? And I can ask you, I can tell you this. Yes, but it was called a different name. I never saw it. I just saw a promo of it on Lachlan Patterson's game show. Shout out to Lachlan Patterson. Watch his game show. It was called Crossfire, but when I saw what it had for it, it basically had the elements of Tic Tac Toe, and we did have our own version. But there was like shockers of other. I can tell you, yeah, but I can tell you there has been other like US game shows that we've had here, but they were more, they more came to children's games. Like one in particular was parent, but it wasn't done with adults. It was done with kids, and a kid and celebrity just figure it. I don't know how much if you want much with you what you won prize wise for kid was, but other than that, yeah. And then I can't remember the guy's name that it started with an S, I think, but he was looking for Pyramid for kids. Look it out there. I think it was around 2009, I think, or something like that. But then there was another one that was around the 90s, played by Michael Pope, called Blockbusters. Yes. Yes, it was, but not for adults. It was like primary school kids that do it. Yeah, it was 2-on-2. They basically played the same way as the US version, Blockbusters stuff and stuff. They win stuff for their school and stuff like that, but that was still amazing. What else? I know I'm yammering so much about game shows stuff. Well, I can't help it. I'm just talking a lot about stuff. I'm enjoying it. What else? We have, well, there's some game shows I think out there that I kind of think we could have had here in Australia, but we didn't get. Like Password or Super. That could have worked in the not 80s or 90s, but we didn't get them. Just thinking. Um, um, what else? We didn't have. Actually, yes, we did. We had a newlywed type. I think we had a newlywed game here, but I can't remember. I think it was called the New. Within the 80s. Can't remember who did that. But we did. I did learn. We did in the noise for a few years. Had a version of Supermarket Sweep hosted by Ian Turpie. Yeah, I know. Like, yeah, and he did really good. I think I actually watched it. It might have been around 10 when it came on, so yeah, it was pretty good. I know out there's like clips you can like look at the Supermax Sweep run, but there's no full episodes. But that's okay. It's still good to watch out there. Yeah. Just thinking, what was there any other game shows that could have been made here? I don't know. I don't know if made our password on the. Well, I don't think that would have worked. I don't. Maybe. What else? But I know. Oh man, we've had Millionaire. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire here? Original one from '99 to 2007. That's by Eddie McGuire. We've had in its original run. There were two winners in the original Millionaire format. There was first was Bob Fulton. Not any. He was nowhere. He wasn't nowhere near. He had the same name. Former man. Yeah, but he passed away like last year. But this one was $1 million question. I remember it very well when I asked which of these shows was shown. Which of these TV show premiered first? It was either Bewitched, I Dream of Jeannie, Hogan's Heroes, or Get Smart. I don't know if you used to find, but what would you think? But I'll give you an answer after. The four answers were, as I said, Bewitched, I Dream of Jeannie, Hogan's Heroes, and Get Smart. I think I kind of knew it from the start when I was watching it. That very episode back in 2005. I was in my head. I was watching it. When was I watching it? At home. And as I said that. Well, he said, yeah, Bewitched, and that was it because that was it. That was the answer that got him $1 million. Um, then I then well, cause obviously, cause Hogan's Heroes, IGN Virginia, and Get Smart came later. I can't remember, was it 63 or 64 that um Bewitched came out. And then the second one, as I heard, this guy was on Sales Century, but I know what year. Martin Flood. Yeah. I forgot what his question was. I think it was maybe a spiritual question, and he won $1 million for that. And they did. Oh, I forgot another short-lived game show from. I think was it 2000 or 2010, hosted by Mark Beretta, called The Master. And that was Martin Flood was the master. Yeah, I totally forgot about that show. Yeah, it didn't last long. Oh, and I forgot there was another show, I believe, around the 90s. Was it 90s, 2000? Frank War, $1 million Chance of a Lifetime. That didn't last very long either. But going on to the um the current version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire Hot. There has been two. Was manned by Edwin, and that was they wanted. I remember his $1 million because I wanted to know what was Banjo Patterson's full name. If everyone doesn't know Andrew Barton Patterson, then what? I wonder what his. But yeah, I don't know because he was on what? I can't remember what night he's on. I think he's on the $10. Yeah, and he ended up with a million. And then back was it last year or the year before? A guy called Anthony won $1 million too. So yeah, so probably out of the whole millionaire franchise, there's been $4 million winners. I tell you, there was other game shows that were pretty good too. That have maybe a few years run, like the Rich List. That was another show, and that was like late 2000s. That was pretty good too. So yeah, so yeah, like that was good. But I heard they did try to make like that in the US, but it only lasted an episode. Yeah. There's some other shows you don't remember. Well, would you classify the singing bees? It could be both reality and game, but Joe Fatone, don't in the I think did the first season in Australia here in the late 2000. And then Tim Gamble took over. So, but other than that, I think he's hosting some game show in the US now, but like I think I saw a clip. I can't remember, but you're right. I don't know. Well, they tried to do like we had our own version, but unfortunately, a lot of no bingo. It was bad. It was rigged. It was bad. No one could hardly win. So basically, Channel 7 took the like got it off the chopping block. But we did in round 2013 get another one. Was it this game had elements of temptation and sale all into one. So, but the first installment was actually hosted by Grant Daniel. He didn't do it for that long because he had to can't explain what happened, but then he just decided he needs he was working too much. He needed some time off and relax and stuff. And then yeah, so but minute that was good. Um, then I think like 2014 up to about 15, Simon Reeve took over. He did a great job. And there was only one winner, and he was the highest winner of all game shows in Australia because he won. I think it was 1,075,000 or something. It was over 1 million. Scars, was it any Scar? I can't pronounce his name, but I know. Yeah. So I actually watched that episode, and he got it all right. I think the second run he did, I think it was on the second attempt. So I'm gonna. Sorry about yeah. And then we had, but it was brilliant. Like they had a few safe levels for the contestant. They could go anytime. They can bail at any time. They could just risk it. That there was always money that enticed you. So if you had so many, it'd be so many points taken off. Someone would always walk away with money most of the time. So no, it was a pretty good show. Well, technically, if you want to watch episodes, let me do a minute. I know they're showing them on 7 Plus, not 7 Plus, 7 2. Yeah, because remember that one on holidays, but I can't remember that. Yeah, but like um I know we don't have many game shows here. I think the only ones that are on telly right now are Millionaire Hot Seat and The Chase Australia. So they're the only two we have. But I reckon, like, Family Feud would have more potential to be. Well, basically, at the time, I think, like, Channel 10 was, like, maybe in debt and time. And then, like, CBS bought them. You know, a CBS network in the US bought, bought Channel 10, so they were, yeah. But I don't know what happened that made them, like, finish their last year of Family Feud in 2018. Man, it was really, I, I mean, it was very successful. I honestly don't know why they would cancel a show after 4 years because it was really. But he did come back with a bunch of specials. I think in 2021, like people, their house and stuff, they get money from that was good. So they did initiate. I think was the first time where you win. I think you played was it 20, and then they had the 1,000. I I think they did have a stage if you want a certain amount of games. For that, you had a chance to play for a million, not a million, huh? 100,000, but you had to up the top 5 answer. No one did that. I think I don't know, I think one team might have got 30,000 something, and that might have been the best. Or was it the first time they played for 10 and then they played the 20? Oh, I can't remember, but I used to watch that, so. I don't know, but still interesting. So, yeah, well, here we have evolved a lot in Australia at the time between whenever it was like the 60s, 70s, 80s, now. But sadly, no. But I would have loved, and even they could, I would love, they could have done family, no, yeah, family, if it's like a, like a celebrity maybe version, or well, they have, but I mean, they do, because I know Family Feud back in 2017. I think it might have been a really good series. I'm not kidding you. It's probably one of the better episodes. I warn. If you ever, you'll probably check this out. I'll tell you. Check this episode out on YouTube. It was the cast of The Bold and the Beautiful in 2017. That was celebrating 30 years, but it was the girls versus the boy. I'm just trying to. Girls named Catherine Kelly Lang. Was it Heather Tom, I believe. Jacqueline, I can't pronounce her name, and then with the Ashley. She was and and then you had the guys. They were Malcolm, John McCook. You better know him. Was Eric Forrester. Um, Thorsten. I can't pronounce his name, but he was not one of the Regis, and some other guy. And then you had Don Donma. He played Brad. Oh God. If you ever, Don would always tell some of the dumbest ridiculous answers that never made the survey. But I think maybe one of you did. But unfortunately, the guys couldn't come back. They did one round, but the girl, I think they were playing, was it 10 or 20 for their charity, and they did really well. Yeah, and then, I tell you something. It, the guy that, let's say, you know, Steve, So you guys, what happened? You're being. I saw that episode. If they weren't, but I don't know if it could happen. It could have a chance of being this. I don't know, but that episode in particular, I loved it so much. Yeah, it's out there on YouTube. I know you can actually watch full episodes of him. I think it's from its first season in 2014. That was pretty good. Yeah, but it, I know there's some shows. Oh, Holy Moly sort of in reality, but that only left like one season in 2019. I thought it may have a chance. But one of the presenters of that show ended up actually going to work on Sunrise now called Matt Show. Oh, Rob Riggle. I think he's still on Holy Moly and he helped out too. It was really good. I didn't mind it. Yeah, but look, it's interesting. There was some sort of reality now called Million Dollar Island. I didn't like interested in that, so I decided, yeah, it's just I'm just thinking it's a knockoff version of Survivor with bigger stakes, but I'd rather watch Survivor, even though it has half the amount, and I will like watch it. Well, speaking of former Survivor, George, well, he's gonna be on a celebrity version of The Amazing Race, which I don't know when that's coming because him and a whole bunch of others they're doing for charity. When that comes, I want to watch that. Yeah. So other than that, I know I'm rambling on about game shows, but I'm having so much fun. Yeah, if you enjoy this and you want to see more episodes of Game Show, go Palooza, whether it be weekly or monthly, here at Bunny 82 channel. I'll happy in the future, depending on what time of day it is, to bring guests in and we can talk about game shows and stuff because that's what I like and I'm enjoying it. I had like two at one stage watching, maybe three, but that's okay. I just do it because I like to do it. What else? I think I might have covered most of the game show content I need to this time. Alright. Well, I know. I think next time. I think next Game Show Palooza I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna compare like different different game show, different versions of our favorite game shows from Australia to New Zealand to US and all that, and see how different they are to ours. I've watched a minority of lots of foreign game shows, and we can compare them to that next time. Um, if I might do maybe a tier list, like if I watched the Wheel of Fortune show, I might do like lowest to six or seven with the bad types that did bad and top and all that. So I can do that for I can do that for Wheel. I could do that for I think Family Feud depending who hosts it. Like there's only been a few, so I can do that and stuff. So if you like this, I'm gonna stop for now. But thanks for joining me for episode 1 of Game Show Palooza here on the 2K2 channel. Um, if you want to see other stuff on my channel, my gameplays, my National Rugby League tips here in Australia, or I think I have maybe some food reviews in the past on there. I have a lot of content, so if you want to check that out, just watch my channel. And I will see you soon. Bye.